Hey everyone, I'm back with a MOVIE review. Haha, yeah. I haven't done really a lot for this week because I'm on break, but yeah. I'm doing the next movie review. And no, this isn't the continuation of 20 through 11 in Disney movie review list I planned up. Yeah, I got through number 20 through number 14. Yeah, 14. Even with this is from, you know what I mean, right? But I'm not here to talk about that. So, you remember last year I did a movie review on Descendants during season 1? One of my movie reviews? Well, you might remember it well because I did it one time. And for what I'm trying to say is, for today's movie review is none other than Descendants 2. Okay, so this is the sequel of The Descendants, which I found out really good. I like the songs and the plot of this thing. It's actually not bad at a Disney Channel original movie. So, yeah, when I got the idea of doing like a series review, like Descendants, for example, I decided to do that because there are at least 3 of them. I only have the 2 I own on DVD because I couldn't find the other ones, but yeah, that's why I decided to do it. Before this video starts, like I said, for every movie review I've ever done, like from season 1 and the starting off season 2, I have to tell you these rules. This may contain some spoilers, so if you haven't watched Descendants 2 or any other Descendants, what I would do is just pause me like this, look, and then go watch it if you have it on if you have Disney Channel, I'll go ahead and watch it from there, or if you have the patience to it, go watch it from the Disney Plus or something. Or if you own someone like me who happen to know that Descendants 2 DVD, which I watch, go ahead and check it out. Or if you're into spoilers, go ahead and watch it through. Also, of course, will be putting down the Descendants 1 link down in the description, even though it's a season 1 episode of the movie reviews. But I decided to do it. Also, of course, just like the first review of Descendants, I'm still sad about what happened to Cameron Boyce last year. Rest in peace. Okay. Now, where is I? Oh yeah, the review. So, the movie started off with the VK kids planning a plot to take over Oregon. And to do that by cursing Apple. It was like in Snow White and the 7 dwarfs. So that way they could take over. That's pretty clever of them. I guess they have ways to be wicked. You see what I did there? But there was one problem. It was actually a daydream because 6 months later, after the VK kids got into the promotion of their schools, Mal had this thought like she really misses being the villain because they all got new things. Like, for example, Evie, he's now the designer for the cotillion. Jay's the captain of a fencing team. And Carlos, well, he has Dew with him. Pretty clever, huh? So, everyone had their big plans ahead except for Mal, because she's kind of upset that she misses that being the villain thing, which everyone doesn't know about. She started asking them how did they miss that, but they don't. They don't miss it at all. So, with that being said, while Mal was trying to keep her villainous thing a secret, Ben, her boyfriend, got a surprise for her. It was a moped. Now, if you know what that is, that's kind of like a motorized scooter. I'm sure you know what I mean. But anyway, It was kind of like they're a surprise, and Mal was supposed to give Ben a surprise, which was a date on Thursday, which was yesterday. But Mal forgot about it, so she has to try something real quick while she's trying to think of a solution. Mal had a talk with Carlos, but Mal had to give Carlos something because Carlos wants to ask Jaina on the cotillion night, but he's nervous, so Mal decided to give him the truth candy to help him out a bit. But surprisingly, Dude took it, and then Dude started talking, surprisingly. So, I wonder what'll happen now. While Carlos is trying to figure out the Dude problem, and Mal needs to take care of the date problem that she needs to do for Ben. Back in the Isle of Armor. Oops. No. Not Isle of Armor. This isn't Pokemon Review. This is Descendants. What I meant to say was Isle of Lost. There's a villain cafe that has called Ursula Fish and Chips. And who would have thought that Ursula would own a fish and chips restaurant? Well, surprisingly, there are 3 other VKs that live in that one. Harry, son of Captain Hook, Gil, son of Gaston, and most of all, Uma, daughter of Ursula. They kind of have a flashback with the VKs from Descendants 1 because ever since they were young, Mal said that Uma wasn't really fit for her crew, but then when she learned that Mal's living wealthy, Uma wanted that as well. But because of the promotion that Ben did and used, they had enough. So that's why Uma had planned to get in there by force. And wants the whole world to know her name. That's why the song "What's My Name" was sitting out there. But thanks to Ursula, they kind of ruined the fun, but as soon as the time will come, Uma will be free from the Isle of Lost. I almost said armor again. Okay, now let's continue to the Mal part. Mal and Ben were having a good time near the pond where Mal met Jasmine, surprisingly. Where they were enjoying Ben's favorite foods, but as Ben was trying to find some napkins to wipe off his face, he found the spell book. That spell book was supposed to be in the museum, but Mal kept it here because she really misses the Lost. But they kind of had an argument saying that this isn't the Isle of the Lost. So that's when Mal decided she had enough. And then the picnic was actually a spell that was originally a peanut butter jelly sandwich with a glass of milk, which wasn't that bad because that's one of his favorites as well. So, while all that thing was over, Mal has gone back to the Isle with her moped and a spell to get it in there. But also, of course, she needs a new style for her hair. So that's when Dizzy came in. That's when Dizzy decided to give a new hairstyle for Mal. Okay, Dizzy's the daughter of Drusilla, one of the evil stepsisters. But here's a fun fact I just realized. She is played by a fan who keeps watching Descendants. I saw it from a video one time, which was pretty cool actually. And I want to say nice job because it's perfect for her. Okay, back to the review. While Mal got her new hairstyle, she interacted with Harry, which came in, and when he realized that Mal's back, he will tell Uma that she's back as well, which will be mostly a problem because they're both enemies. So, with that being said, while Ben was trying to do his kingly duties, Evie and told Ben bad news. Mal has come back to the isle for her own good. Ben blames himself because of the argument, so that's when Ben decides he's going to the Isle of Lost so he can bring Ben back. But he can't look like a king. You have a disguise to go in there. So with that being said, Evie, Carlos, Jay, even Ben and went to the Isle of Lost. That's to find Mal, but the thing was, since Ben was raised from Orda, and he kind of has a trouble of fitting in. He can't smile, he can't do nice things, gotta keep his hands in the pocket, and all the time be rude all the time. Pretty nifty, I know. So, with that trouble ahead, here, this one's one of my favorite scenes of Descendants 2. Oh, that's when Evie had to be chilling like a villain. That might be one of the catchiest Descendants 2 song I've heard. It was pretty funny because it shows up of how to be a villain. And luckily enough, Ben was doing it so well. But after this song, they came across Gil, which might be surprising. I think Gaston's a bit upset now because he wanted to marry Belle, but she chose the Beast. I wonder how Gaston would feel when he meets the Beast in Belle's song. Okay, but we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about they were about to get caught. Well, thanks to Gil. Well, they didn't even notice it until he's the king, which they did manage to escape it for a bit. So they thought. So, while that was out of the way, Ben came up to Mal and asked her to come home. But with her being the VK, Mal thinks she is home. And she thinks it's good for her. So with that being said, the group decided they were about to head back, but there is one problem they had before they could try and find Ben. Harry came in and said that he captured them. Well, technically, Uma captured him because she's she's basically the captain of the group. So Harry came in and told her that Mal needs to see Uma or else he's done. So, when they told Mal about it, Mal came across Uma to an arm wrestling match. If Mal wins, she can have Ben back safely. But if Uma wins, then she gets a fairy godmother's magic wand so she could break out. Which was a problem because Mal has lost. So the only way to get Ben back was to give Uma the magical wand, which gave Carlos the idea to print a magic wand to trick them. But first they had to get rid of someone. To do that, see chat and keep using Carlos's 3D printer, which was not really a nice thing to do because somehow Carlos's 3D printer works in his, so that's why he might keep using it a lot. But he told him to get out, but also told him that Ben was captured. So that's when they tried to keep it a secret until Lonnie actually knew and decided to join with him as well. Well, meanwhile, Evie and Mal came across with Dizzy again. Dizzy's kind of like a little sister to Evie because they all have creative minds, but then they use those minds to create smoke bombs, which was a good success. While Evie and Mal were walking out together, they told each other that they want to stay in the what they want to stay, which made a tough decision for both of them. they would have to say goodbye to each other because they are best friends even though there's space between. Well, meanwhile, the magic wand is finished. So with that being said, it was showdown time. Team Mal versus Team Uma to make a trade-off. So that's why it's going down. So about the trade-off, Uma felt suspicious and that she really wants to know how it really works, which Mal pulled a trick on them by using the dude to make him talk, which they think it worked and they used to try to break open the seal, but it didn't work, which means they had to battle for their lives, but luckily enough, they managed to escape in time. Uma was frustrated in that they escaped, but there was one thing that happened. Mal dropped her book while they were in the limo, which I think there was supposed to be a scene, but Uma found the spell book and she had a diabolical plan. What will happen then? Meanwhile, after Lonnie was trying to put the swords back in the gym, him and Ben was continuing his plans for the cotillion. Mal and Evie were going to have a talk by themselves, but Carlos is sick of it because they're family too. And that's when they all had a thing, which was pretty difficult. So Mal really misses them because she tried to fit in, but it's not really working. But then they all decide to be together. So with that being said, Jay asks her to at least participate in the cotillion. But if she gets too uncomfortable, Jay will drive her back to the aisle. And with the limo, meanwhile, there are some other things. While Evie was trying to deliver the dresses, Doug was being suspicious because they thought Evie was dumping him, but Evie told him the truth, so they got along again. For Jay's team, he decided no longer to become team captain and let Lonnie do it instead. And for Carlos, he finally had the strength enough to act as Jane out to the cotillion, which was a perfect thing for them. And while all those are done, it's cotillion time. They were going to have a party, and Mal was supposed to be Ben's woman for the date, but surprisingly, it was Uma. Somehow, Uma became Ben's date, which was everyone's shock. That's when Jane had the idea to unveil the stained glass painting. Mal was very surprised of the gift that Ben was showing him, but with Uma enraged, she asked them to take it down. But here's the thing. With the spell that Uma put on Ben to make commands to release the dome, so that way the villains and the villain kids could be free. But then Mal knows that way, so she had planned to fix this. Mal confessed her love to Ben and shared it with True Love's kiss, which works every time. The spell was broken, which made Uma feel so upset that she decided to do one thing. Became like her mother as she grew and got tentacles, which made Mal upset that also turned her into a dragon, just like her mother, but I would say she was the good dragon. It was a pretty nasty fight between Uma and Mal until Ben unleashed the inner beast inside of him and decided to end this fight. Which, of course, Ben tried to help Uma, but Uma was a bit upset that she returned the ring to Ben and she left off. So with that being said, the fight was over, and then And Mal turned back into herself with a new dress, which was pretty impressive. And they had a true love's kiss, which, of course, with that being said, the spell book they found, Mal decided to return it to the museum, which it truly belongs. And also, of course, Evie asked Ben to do one thing. She wants Dizzy to join in on Ordon because that was her dream. In fact, she asked Ben to ask any villain's kid who would be happy to join Ordon, which they decided to do, which was a great success. And after that, they had biggest splash party ever, and the song was so great. I would say this song would be the best song, Descendants song ever. I really enjoy it so much. It's so great. I love it. It explains about how the new change will happen and how they'll start from you and me. The song. I try to do references to the song, but yeah, that's what it means to start with their new plan of how they'll start over again. So there was a little scene that around the Royal Guard state and gave Dizzy the invitation, Dizzy was very excited for her. While meanwhile, Uma will be back. She says it isn't over yet. Okay, which will mean that I will do the review on Descendants 3. Ooh, that's really tricky for them. Okay, I hope you really enjoyed this video. I'm sure I did. Make sure you follow the rules down below in the description. And also, of course, I put the link in the description to check it out. And don't worry, I will do the Descendants 3 movie review real soon. Well, first off, I gotta watch it first, but that's not the next one. It'll be the next one after the 3 other ones I might do next. Okay? I hope you stay safe and make sure you have a brick day.